You know what he did ask me? He said, do you have to be seen in public today? And I said, yeah, kind of.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday will be remembered for one thing and one thing alone. That's the Week 10 walk-off bonanza. 5 games had kickers win games for them, and I can't tell you enough how jacked up and zeked I got watching all of them. Because sometimes, a kicker will miss a kick, and people go crazy, even though their team sucks. Their team has been terrible for 4 quarters. Well, you make the kick, we win the game. We don't have to talk about it. It's like, well, maybe you guys run for, 14 yards, have 2 completions. Maybe it wouldn't come down to just this particular kick, but I get it. Do your job. Now, I only get to come out here 4 to 5 times an entire game. If I miss one of them, you're going to kill me forever. You have a chance to do something 20, 30 times a game. You guys have sucked, but you know what? I'll do my job for you on this beautiful Week 10. Joining us now is a man who, from what I've been told, will look a little different today. He's been through some shit. Aaron James Hawk. Jim Harbaugh beat the hell out of you.
I was hoping you guys might not notice, but I thought it might be a bit of a distraction today. But yeah, look at that.
Oh, my God.
I got a straight eye patch put on this morning, yeah. Bent down to pick up Axel. He threw his arms up so fast, his thumb went about 6 inches deep into my eyeball, and his nail chopped off part of my eye, I guess, or whatever. And they tried to fight through it, dropped my kids off at school, and then went to the doctor, and he said, oh, yeah, 1/3 of your cornea is gone. There's a big divot out of there. So,
what?
You know what he did ask me? He said, do you have to be seen in public today? And I said, yeah, kind of.
Are you going to be blind forever? Like, is this going to recover?
Yeah, it's going to regrow. We'll be good.
Are you sure of that?
Nope, I'm not sure of anything. I have an old school eye patch, too, I could put over it. Then no glasses fit.
We need that pirate.
I'll see, but
well,
I tell you what, they don't make... Axel does know. He does not feel bad at all. They don't know I have the patch, so that was not a safe drive to school today. I drove him to school today before I got the patch when I couldn't see out either eye. Safe. We talked, like, I'm probably not driving tonight. The other kids know. My daughter already told him when I couldn't see last night, you did this to him, Axel. You did this to Dad.
Oh, he might live with this forever.
When he comes home and he sees the patch, that might freak him out.
You did this to me. Look at this. Make him think about that for the rest of his life. Axel Hawk's going to do some of these things. You signed up for that when you named him Axel.
Definitely incidental eye poke, but if someone in my family was going to do it, it was definitely going to be the youngest, Axel, no question.
There's a rookie quarterback down in Houston right now who's not just up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He needs to be in the damn MVP conversation. Leading the NFL in pass yards as a rookie for the first time in like forever or something. Now he goes into Joe Burrow's house, into the jungle. They say, welcome to the jungle. We are playing games. CJ said, I love this. 27-27. Joe Burrow just scored. Hey, Rook, are you going to get a first down? Yes, you are. On 3rd and 6. CJ Stroud handles every situation. He looks the guy off. He moves the defender. That guy 57 falls. You know why? Because CJ Stroud looks to his right, then comes back to his left. He's manipulating defense. 2 weeks in a row, he's finding a new weapon. Nico wasn't even playing. Nope. His number 1 wide receiver wasn't even on the field. And then in the end, who needs to win it for you? The kicker. Amendola. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills have fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Now, you would certainly ask yourself, this is less than 12 hours after the game ended. Holy hell, they've been fed up. But then you start looking around that whole team, it's like, it's not just the offense that's problematic. Special teams is obviously a problem. The vibes are obviously a problem. Culture is obviously a problem. What the hell is going on in Buffalo? Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Standing brotherhood.
Solidarity, guys.
Did you just have one of those laying around or what?
No, we just fashioned this together.
Could you have imagined that Axel would take 1/3 of his cornea out of his eye?
Injuries that happen at the house, there's always some mystery, some shrouds of mystery around them. It could be a bedroom injury. That's all I'm saying.
Oh! Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
All I know is that him and Laura, you say 10, but I believe 4, maybe it could be more. Beautiful children, and the spark is still very strong, and you never know what the actual cause of this injury could be.
That means Laura's in on blaming Axel.
Let's not bring her into it.
Well,
that's how that works.
If she's the dominant human in the bedroom, she can't help it.
Yeah, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. People are saying because you're coming back so quick that you actually don't have a torn Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, I have some very interesting thoughts that ESPN would probably try and cut off the broadcast if I started really getting into how I feel about that stuff. But
what could that have been?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I couldn't even fathom. They're talking about your Achilles.
Love conspiracies. What do you mean?
Same people talking about that, entertaining the possibility of conspiracy about my Achilles. Could not possibly fathom a world in which anything related to this beautiful experimental gene therapy could have any issues with that.
Okay.
Fascinating. Right. Okay. So I just went into it. They probably just cut the feed. I don't give a shit.
No, I don't think enough people know exactly what you're referring to there.
If he comes back and plays in 3 months after tearing his Achilles, I'm going to be trying to play for another 4 more seasons. I'm going to start calling Aaron real quick.
Oh, wait a minute. Pittsburgh Steelers got you jacked up. You heard, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law.
Use our brains for a second here. If you're going to go somewhere, is there another team that's playing incredibly well right now who's got a quarterback that's crushing it?
I got one for you.
Got a lot of connections. Let's use our brains.
Yeah, I got one for you.
I don't think...
I'm struggling, actually.
No, I got one for him. There'll be a guy right next to you, too. Sheldon Rankins, 98. Had a J.J. Watt-ish game, 3 sacks.
He's on the stadium.
Yeah.
And he's doing this shit again.
Turn down for what?
Yeah. Punching himself in the face so he can bleed.
Scoring touchdowns.
Oh, that would be so sick.
He
goes up on the bench, too. He does
this
thing. He's always,
Yeah.
come on. Oh, my God, it's back. Guess who's back? Back again. One is back.
I love this.
In Houston?
If you're sitting at home right now and you're not laughing and having a great time and your mood is raised right now, you're crazy. Because this show gives it to you every week.
Are you the first guy to ever play in a stadium that you're already in the Ring of Honor for?
This is ridiculous.
And after you get a sack, I think you just point up to yourself.
Yep.
Massive news broke this morning about the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback who was given the biggest guaranteed contract in the history of the NFL. He will be down for the rest of the year as Deshaun Watson will be having surgery on a broken bone in his shoulder that happened in the first quarter of a game in which he went 14 of 14 in the second half of and came back and got a huge win over the Baltimore Ravens. He is now out. This is something that none of us could have fathomed, especially when the 230 was given to Deshaun whenever he got to Cleveland. He's only 12 games into this entire thing. I think he's making $7 million a game at this point. I mean, it is wild. I don't know how the Browns view it. I don't know how the Browns fans view it, but hopefully Deshaun will get healthy. He'll be back next year. James Madison, I've started looking into it. They're in the middle of a bullshit rule with the NCAA. No reason for them to be getting punished the way that they're getting punished except for an archaic rule that just can be changed. Hey, don't have to enforce a 2-year transition period for a school to become officially D1, especially if in the first year instead of the normal move, which is like where you have to have 2 years of transition from FCS to FBS, formerly D1 AA to D1. Then the next year you have a full D1 schedule, and then you're allowed to get into championships and bowl games and everything like that. They took a D1 schedule their first year in their transition, so they tried to expedite that whole thing. Then they petitioned like, hey, we didn't have that transition year. We want straight into D1 schedule. Is there any way we could change that? Currently undefeated, not allowed to play in the Sun Belt Championship. Makes no sense at all. And I think the NCAA will inevitably look back on this one whenever they have some people that feel like have a brain in charge at some point. And they'll look back and say, yeah, another dumb decision we made in the past that we're going to have to justify in the future as people are calling for us to not even be involved in college sports anymore. But then I started looking in their fan base. I started looking at their game day. I started looking at the last time college game day was there. It was like, all right, this is going to be sweet. Anytime you get a chance to go to a place that you don't get to go often, like game day, I feel like their fans bring it. I'm pumped to get there on Friday. Did any of the ex-guys ever get recruited to recruit guys for you?
Now you're trying to get me in trouble with the NCAA because you're not supposed to use alumni and influence players. So I have to say, no, we never do.
What? The NCAA, we're not going to get in. That is bananas, by the way. Can't use these guys that came in as 17-year-olds, their family trusted me to grow them into adults and men. They became first-round draft picks and now have completely changed the trajectory of their entire family tree. Yeah, those guys aren't allowed to tell you, like, yeah, cool place to go. Because the NCAA says that type of information is a bad one. Okay. You're on the screen, so I won't get too ridiculous because obviously you're the greatest college football coach of all time. But boy, there's some dumb stuff coming out of that 4-letter organization.
One thing that I do think is it's unfortunate for the players, the school, the university, that they've worked so hard to have this success, and now they're not being allowed to participate and take advantage of what they've created for themselves, because I don't quite get the significance of why it's an important thing for them to not play or whatever. That's kind of beyond my pay grade, I guess.
No, it is not. So Friday morning, there will be no injunction or court case. This thing got settled before that. He will serve a suspension this this week against Maryland and next week against Ohio State. Excited to hear that this has ended, seemingly. We will have to chat about the team without Coach Harbaugh, and now we all move forward. I do like and appreciate that it has been said numerous times now, both by Coach John Harbaugh and in this particular statement, that Jim Harbaugh didn't know this shit was going on. That needs to be understood, I think, is what everybody who cares about Jim Harbaugh is saying. We agree with that stat because anytime your integrity gets questioned, your entire family's integrity gets questioned, especially as an old school football guy, that can hurt. I think this is a good meet in the middle. Michigan fans obviously aren't going to be thrilled about it ever because they're losing Harbaugh for some games. If Chuck's able to put this into the hoop, we'll get 40 people. $500. All you have to, yeah. 40 people, $500. All you got to do is retweet this post, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you in the reply.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Harrisonburg, Virginia. The campus of JMU Field of Friday starts now. Football is happening on this campus in a beautiful way. I had no idea what to expect here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. The nearest airport is 2 hours away. We're deep in the hills of Virginia, and all I can say is, JMU! Showed up in a massive way. If you're the NCAA and you're sitting in that stupid office in Indianapolis where we happen to live, it's a great city. It's a great town. Right. And there's a dumb institution that is ruling over college football. Because if you don't want these people dancing in bowl season,
Supposed to be on Thanksgiving break. Starts today.
Hey, NCAA.
Yeah. What's that? Let us bowl? Like the game?
No, I believe what they're saying is the people that are at the NCAA are a bunch of assholes, and I couldn't agree more. You're telling me an undefeated team with this fan base doesn't deserve to be dancing?
Come on.
You deserve every asshole chant. You deserve every time I step onto this microphone on ESPN,
right.
on YouTube,
right.
on ESPN Plus,
right.
on TikTok,
right.
on Twitter,
right.
and on Instagram.
Right.
You deserve every time I say you're a bunch of dipshits who don't deserve to be a part of college sports.
Yep.
This person has one of the biggest brains on him than any human on earth. What did he choose to do with that big brain? Oh, well, entertain the world. First, he was a commenter.
Right.
Then he was a blogger.
Right.
Then he became one of the greatest podcast hosts in the history of podcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's celebrity guest picker on game day, JMU alum, host of Pardon My Take, legend, PFT commenter.
I'm very thankful that ESPN has welcomed me back on the airwaves. I'm going to double my time spent on ESPN in this one show. So I'm very proud to do that. Hopefully I won't get game day canceled. That's my mission. That's going to be tough to do, but I think I can handle that one.
I say today, we take a stand against the NCAA. You're an embarrassment, okay? You're an embarrassment. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Boom. There it is, yeah. Get loose. There you go. Couple jabs. There it is. There it is. Yep. Duck.
From taking Reggie's Heisman
Wide.
to ruining people's lives all over little minuscule things, to getting mad about hamburgers and cheeseburgers, to majoring in the minors and being dumb all the way through. Today's the day we all say, NCAA, we're tired of your stupid shit. I have not learned of one thing that the NCAA has done where you go, yeah, that's good decision.
Good call.
That is it. They're power-hungry, greedy dumbasses who have been somehow put into a position of power that they do not deserve.
Well, I think...
And I regret to inform everybody that it has been determined that Joe Burrow will be out for the rest of the season.
Oh.
Wrist ligament injury is what they're saying about it now, and that is a damn shame.
Yeah.
Schefter reported earlier that the NFL is looking into why the wrist injury was not on the injury report going into the game, which is the big conversation yesterday when video was posted, then deleted, of him walking off the plane with a wrist
guard of
some sort,
fashion,
very small, whatever it was. So everybody started questioning it. Then he gets hurt in the middle of the game on a non-contact, clearly to the same exact hand that was wrapped. Then you see the swelling of it. Then you see the sideline thing. And it's like, when did this happen? How did this happen? And this is a damn shame, not only for the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously, who are in a state of not only having him injured and hurt earlier, missing games, now he's missing games. It's like, they've had a great run. This year was supposed to be awesome. This is obviously going to change everything. But damn, AJ, this sucks for the football community as a whole.